Hello everyone, thanks for joining me, Fuzzfinger here, and we've just unlocked the Bresha Ruins 300 AF, so that's going to be the focus for today.
The Bresha Ruins suddenly experienced an influx of monstrous intruders. A paradox was thought to be the cause, but before an investigation could be launched, the situation was already out of hand. The government all but abandoned the area and appealed to the general populace for possible solutions. The ruins crawled with mercenaries and researchers looking to make names for themselves in what had become an unregulated, lawless district. As the situation continued to deteriorate, all attempts to stem the invasion ended in wasted time and resources. 300 years have gone by since that paradox first appeared.
So this is a completely optional area, you don't need to even come here to complete the game, but there are a few fragments we can collect and some extra story we can hear as well.
The number of monsters just keeps growing, and the military's in a tizzy trying to cope, Kubo. So the government is asking civilians to help out, Kubo. Of course, the three of us are going to help, Kubo. Nothing makes us happier than lending a helping hand, Kubo. The more we help, the more the government will pay for our trouble, Kubo. I've already made room in my pockets, Kubo. Kubo?
We're getting paid. I wonder how much. But what are you gonna do with all that gil anyway? Got your eye on something?
I'll figure that out once I have the gil, Kubo. First we have to earn it, Kubo.
Hey guys, it looks like we're not the only ones interested in the rewards the government has to offer.
And yeah, I don't know, I actually like the background music to this area. It's pretty awesome in my opinion. So we've got a few side quests to do to collect our fragments. The first thing we need to do is speak to one of the guards or soldiers just up these stairs, up these steps over here. Although before we do that, there's a chest over there which we can collect with our Moogle throw. You can use a chocobo, but that'll use a Gysahl Green, of course. I don't think you can get it from this angle, we'll just have to go up the steps a little bit before we can do it. Okay, that was just an optional thing that I collected then, it wasn't actually a chest. So yes, obviously Mog's bouncing all over the place, we do need to move up. The best place is just to stand on this stone over here. You go and get that for us, please, pal. Also, I'll just keep throwing you. Thank you, another gate seal, and we'll speak to this person here.
With this many monsters prowling the area, all we can do is take them out one at a time, starting with the ones in front of us. According to my extensive research, there should be some kind of device that's been recording the biology of these monsters for some time now. If only I could find that valuable piece of equipment, it would certainly make dealing with the monsters a lot easier. You mean you'll do it? You'll help me look for the recording device? I knew I could count on you two!
So the monsters around here pretty much drop us the stuff we need to level up our Cloudburst and our Flan Healer thingy. And a few other monsters that you might have, so it's quite useful. I wouldn't recommend running from battles. So while we're killing the mobs on the way, we're going to head to the west tunnels. The area's the same as in the previous version that we've been to, the 005 area, or time period. Obviously it's covered in snow now, but the actual layout hasn't changed. Well, apart from the fact actually that some of it's blocked off, but what's available hasn't changed, I should say. So through this tunnel, we're going to pick up another quest off somebody else down here. Yeah, it's quite catchy, this theme. I guess it's going to be quite annoying after, since I'll be humming it and annoying everyone else around me. Anyway, I won't do that to you all. Right, we need to speak to this person. Collect another quest.
I wonder why people waste their efforts picking off monsters one creature at a time. I know a faster way we can get rid of them. We just need a lot of explosives, enough to blow up the entire ruins. I'm having an explosives expert look into it now. If you happen to run into a mercenary called the Commander, can you let him know that I want to speak with him? Don't forget, his nickname is the Commander.
Okay, so now we need to start completing some of these quests we've picked up. So we're going to head towards the very northwest corner of the map, in one of the other tunnels up ahead.
I think you guys took a wrong turn somewhere. The kiddie pool is that way.
So that's the local Joker. We'll be seeing him again later, don't you worry. Like I say, I know it's tempting, but we are better off just engaging in these fights for the moment, because we need the CP, and we can do it with the monster materials to upgrade our crystals. By the way, while you're in the outdoor area, in the snowy areas, you can, if you're lucky, come into combat with a purple chocobo, which is a good synergist if you can get the crystal. But don't bother trying to farm for it at this point in the game, since it is really quite rare. And we'll be able to collect a fragment skill later, which will increase the spawn rate of the chocobo. So if you do come across it, just be aware. And the same with any other chocobo that you fight, you want to stagger it quickly if you do come into combat, and then keep it launched. So we're in the next tunnel now, and we'll just follow it round and stay to the left at the junction here. Although I'm just going to pop over to Chocolina, see if there's any new wares, which I don't think there is.
Take a breather and survey Chocolina's charmingly cheap chest of charity.
Could do with about 30 potions and a few Phoenix down, I think. I'm okay for Garshal Greens at the minute. By the way, you might have noticed that the chocobos on this map are coloured a red and blue rather than the normal gold. What happens when you use these ones, you only get these chocobos in the optional areas of the game, not the main storyline areas, and basically the difference is they'll keep consuming your greens while you're riding them. They consume less greens the more fragments you have. So you really only want to use them to reach areas that you otherwise couldn't. Anyway, use your Moogle Hunt to reveal the quest item. The recording device, we can return that to its rightful owner shortly. Let's get out of here first though. Now before we hand the quest item in, we're going to complete the other quest, which is having to find the commander. So follow the tunnel all the way back out. And then don't go into the next tunnel, instead just carry on going round, staying in the snowy area. Oh, come on, thank you. Just keep following it round. Oh, also, now we've got access to this time period, we can actually get another fragment from the original Bresha ruins time period as well, which we'll do once we've finished up here. So we're looking for the commando. He'll have a speech bubble and hopefully a quest thing above his head. No, just a speech bubble, but there he is.
Oh, you want to know how the investigation's going, don't you? The report's done. Here. According to my calculations, if we were to blow up the entire ruins, there's a chance we'll harm Cocoon. Turns out we can't just blow up entire ancient cities willy-nilly. Too bad. Would have been a hell of a show. Oh, I almost forgot to tell you. I found something strange when I was investigating the area. I've included my findings in the report. Do me a favor and make sure this gets to your client safely.
Okay, so that report we can hand in to the quest giver who was in the tunnel in the southwest.
The recording device! You found it! Let's see here. This should be chock full of data. There's enough information in here to keep me busy for years to come. Thank you! You've been a great help. This breakthrough will help the military immensely, and the compensation they'll give me won't hurt either. I can't thank you enough. Your efforts may have saved many lives. This is just a small token of my gratitude. Please, take it.
Okay, so there's a fragment. And before we go on, I'm just going to spend some Crystal Gem points and level up my... where is it? My healer, 'cause I haven't put some points in for a while. I can't actually do much, but to be honest, we probably won't be using the Flanny tour for long, since we'll be able to have access to the green chocobo in the next area. Keep leveling up that cloud burst, so that's very useful. For now though, there's another quest we want to pick up. So we want to head around, back up north and then to the east. I always get disorientated around here, I'm not sure why. I suppose it would help if I was actually going the correct way. Come out of this dead end, head west. There's a heck of a lot of running in this game, isn't there? But I guess that's just what's to be expected with a JRPG. I'm not complaining. Not complaining, just observing, as they say. So yeah, head up north, but don't go in the tunnels, just stay to the east. And go to the, I think it's called the Lament or Lamentable Rest area. Either way, it's just right to the east here. There's a bit of an area there which you can see is blacked out on my map. That wasn't actually explorable in the previous time period of this area, but it is now, so, and we do need to explore it for the side quest later on. Anyway, while we're here, we need to use the Moogle hunt for that shadowy man to appear. Speak to him for a quest.
Me and my buddy are out here doing research on monsters in the area, but I can't get a hold of him. Can you find him? He should have some sort of message for me. I'm counting on you two. Oh, by the way, he's a slightly odd fellow. Natural-born jokester, if you will.
Okay, so we need to go and find this guy's colleague. And this flower we will actually need later, but not yet. And there's also a wild artifact around here, but I think we have to complete this quest that we've just picked up before we can get it. Yes, because I can't see it. We're heading back to the tunnels now then, and we're looking for that Joker guy, if you remember him from a few minutes ago. So we need to head... It's not through that tunnel. I do sometimes have to just get my bearings around here, so you have to bear with me. So many bloody tunnels everywhere, I have to try and recall which is which. Okay, this is the one. And it's this next one on the map. We need to talk to him, and we need to basically tell a joke to make him laugh 3 times.
You two make such a cute couple. A couple of what? I don't know.
Indeed, hilarious.
What did you say? My buddy asked you to come look for me to see if I'm alright? Who put you up to this? That's not funny. It's been years since he...
Alright then, guys. What say we play a little game? If you can keep up with me, I'll tell you everything you want to know. Deal? Then let the game begin! Or should I say, let the pain begin!
I almost fell off my chair, that was so funny. Right then. Okay, so we need to, for this question we need to choose the top option.
I'm reading a book about anti-gravity. It's impossible to put down!
Okay, so now it's our turn.
This medical textbook is useless. It has no appendix.
Please, come on. Okay, so this time we want to choose the bottom option.
The book of magic was useless. They didn't run a spell check. Not all jokes are funny. I'm proof of that.
And now finally, you want to choose the right hand option on this, and that will be the last one for this quest.
You're magnificent. I've met my Sarah people, and I know not many can keep up. You have my respect. Now give it back. I wrote everything down. Here, take this. Oh, and one other thing. Tell him that he's my one and only buddy till the day I stop breathing. You look confused. You see, the thing is, the man you talked to before, my buddy, he died 3 years ago. I don't mean to scare you, but we were talking to a ghost, not a person. Thanks for playing along. I had a roaring good time.
Okay, so in due course we can hand that message in to the quest giver to collect our fragments. Although not before we've spoken to this other quest giver that we dealt with earlier.
Ah, I see the commander gave you his report. Can I take a look? Well, he poo-pooed my mass destruction idea. I thought it was a good idea at the time. Well, back to the drawing board.
Please do not tell me he said poo-pooed.
Apparently the ruins have been subject to many explosions in the past, and they weren't from any battle. There was a direct attack on the academy by a certain group. I've never heard of anything like this before. I have a feeling there's a lot I don't know about this. I shouldn't stick my nose where it doesn't belong. Anyway, here's something for your trouble.
Right, I want to get away from this person before he says bloody poo-pooed again. And now it's just a case of running all the way back to that quest giver that wanted us to speak to this guy. Yep, don't want to talk to you again. Ah, I forgot to mention, if you get a distortion, run. Do not enter combat with it, you'll get the tombery, and that will kill you. Unless, of course, you don't mind being killed, then feel free to enter combat. so I'm sure you know the way by now. It's just up here and to the east, and then all the way down to the end. And I shouldn't really be running away from combat, but occasionally I just don't have the willpower to carry on. So speak to him to hand in the quest and for another fragment.
You brought back the message from my buddy, did you? Well, let's see here. He discovered a new species of monsters? Could that be the missing link beyond the realms of space-time? He did it! I knew he had it in him! What's that? You say he left me another message? He said that I'm his one and only buddy till the day that he drops dead? That's just like him. You already know, right? I'm not like you guys. I don't belong in this world anymore. I ended up here by a simple twist of fate. If you see him again, tell him he needs to find himself a new buddy that'll watch his back. Got it? Anyway, thanks, guys.
Fantastic. Now there's the wild artifact I was looking for earlier. Thank you. Now what we need to do is just return to the previous time period, the year 5 AF. Since there's a quest we can pick up, and we'll need to come back to loot that flower, which we can only do once we've picked up the quest in over here, and then we can come back over here yet again to hand it in. Unfortunately, that means we're going to have to run all the way back to the Lament's Rest area, but we can use a chocobo for that, since these are the traditional golden chocobos, or yellow ones, that don't consume Gulf or greens once you're riding them. I think the chocobo theme is probably one of the most iconic themes out of all the Final Fantasy series. Everyone just knows it, don't they? Even if they haven't played that much Final Fantasy. Okay, so we've got to go all the way up to the top. Before we do that though, I'm just going to explore the little bit of area that's unexplored down here. Save me having to come back later. Oh, there's a chest there as well. I think that's a gate seal actually. If you haven't picked that up before, you might want to grab that. And just go around the other side. Don't think there's any more seals anyway, there's a chest though. And just come up here as well. You do need to run across this little bit just to fully explore. Okay, oh, wrong way. It's the opposite direction we're going now.
He's mighty fast. That looks fun. Atlas's power. It could have been, but I didn't.
Yeah, just leave me alone, please. Excuse me. Oh, the chocobo. There is an area over there which we can't yet explore. We need a different time period for that. A third time period that we haven't yet accessed. Okay, just follow this right. And when we get over here, we're looking for a person standing by the gravestone or the memorial.
Thank you.
Not Elisa, it's this person here.
Have you heard of the silver petal?
It's an extremely rare plant that blooms with stunning silvery flowers. My niece has been pestering me, saying she wanted to see one for real. So, when I heard they grow in this area, I decided to go look for it. But I'd forgotten one thing. The silver petal only blooms when the weather is cold and snow is falling. Seems I've completely missed the season. I don't suppose you could find it anywhere right now. You see, that niece I mentioned is such a selfish and demanding little princess. But the pouty thing she does is just so cute. What's her favorite uncle supposed to do? Oh? You'll go look for one for me? Is it snowing somewhere that I don't know about? Well, I won't hold out too much hope.
Yes, I happen to know where there is some snow. About 295 years into the future. I'll just pop over there now. And we're just going to collect that flower that we saw earlier, which is right there, and now we're going to go all the way back. But before we do, we're just going to go and unlock this gate, so we don't have to come back to this area once we've handed in the quest. This gate will lead to the next video. Chest over here. It's going to use another wild artifact, but you'll definitely have one since we've just looted one. Not on 5 minutes ago. And this will unlock another Yashas Mashif. And it's 110 AF, and that's where we'll be going next, once we've handed in this quest. So return to the Bresha Ruins 5 AF. And just speak to the same person again to hand in the quest.
You actually brought me a silver petal? But where on Pulse did you find it? Are you really giving this to me? Thank you. But I must confess, my niece is no longer around to admire it. On the day that Cocoon fell, she died alongside so many others. It broke our hearts. She was just 5 years old. I'll never forget how much happiness she brought to our family. Such a sweet girl, even if she was spoiled rotten. We were never able to find a place where she fell. I'll put the flower on the grave and say a prayer to her memory. Do you think our little princess will like the silver petal?
And we got another fragment for this Bresha Ruins. That's 40 fragments now, so we're well on the way. Some of the ones we've missed, we actually still can't get yet, so I haven't forgotten about them, don't worry. We will be returning to collect them all. I'll probably do a future video towards the end of the game where we just go and pick up all the fragments we're missing. Anyway, for now, if we return to the Historia Crux, we'll be going to the new area we've just opened up, the Yashas Massif 110. And we'll be doing that in the next video. So I've been Fuzzfinger, thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.